that question is, what do you do? November of last year, some of you have heard me tell the story, but it was profound for me. In November of last year, my wife and I and 3 of my children were in New York City to run the New York Marathon, okay? So we had trained for 5 or 6 months for this race. Everything went flawlessly. We get up in the morning, we board the bus to go to Staten Island, which is a 30-minute bus ride away. About 25 minutes into this bus ride, I hear people at the front of the bus screaming at the bus driver. And they're screaming that you're lost, you don't know what you're doing. I look out the window, we're the Lower East Side of Manhattan. We haven't even got into Brooklyn yet. And so we're lost, and in approximately 20 minutes, they're gonna close the Verrazano Bridge. If you don't get across that bridge, you don't get to run that race. So all of a sudden, this entire bus turns into a panic. Now, interestingly enough, I'm sitting close to the back of the bus, and there were these 4 or 5 really nice ladies behind us. We're like laughing, carrying on. So I get out my GPS. I'm gonna tell you the long story, but here's the short of it. I got out my GPS, I walked to the front of the bus. I asked the bus driver if he spoke English. He said very little. I said, okay, I want you to stop freaking out and just pay attention to exactly what I tell you to do. I just want you to stop listening to everybody else screaming at you. So I put my hand on his shoulder and I stood next to him. I guided him out of Lower Manhattan, across the Brooklyn Bridge. And then as we started to head onto the on-ramp to the highway to go to Staten Island, he went up the wrong ramp, okay? So I had to stop the bus. I said, stop the bus. He looked at me like I was crazy. I said, open the door. I'm going down on the freeway. I'm gonna stop the traffic. You're gonna back this bus down the ramp, back onto the freeway, and we're gonna head in the right direction, okay? So that's literally what I did. Probably not the smartest thing to do in New York City, okay? And I still remember me, I'm standing there with my arm out, and all the traffic is stopped, so they won't go up the ramp. Finally, he gets the bus down, and then as he starts to pull away, these cars, as soon as he cleared the ramp, these cars start flying by me. I look, and he's leaving without me. So I'm like running down the side of the road. I can hear the people on the bus screaming, stop the bus, but they've been screaming that for an hour now. Finally, he clued in and slows down, and I jump on the bus, and I'm like, dying. Like, I gotta go run 26.2 miles, and I'm already freaking out, right? My heart's racing. So then we're on the highway alone, literally, for 12 miles, because it's now past the time the bridge is closed. The entire highway is shut down. So we get to the first roadblock, tell the police what's going on, they radio ahead. Every 2 miles we go pop by a bunch of police cars, and like after the third one, the police officer's just standing there like this. They're like, here comes the loser cruiser, right? It was like the O.J. Simpson chase. We're like the only ones on the road. Then we get to the bridge and they weren't gonna let us across because the race was starting in literally 15 minutes. Finally, I begged the guy, I said, look, we got a bus full of people who've committed 6 months of their life to this. You gotta make this happen. He said, you got 2 minutes to get across this bridge. So we get across the bridge and then it's a non-event. We arrive, but here's the interesting point. When I turned around to go back to my seat to collect my family, everybody was high-fiving me, hugging me. I could see the steam on the windows of the bus. It was that intense in an air-conditioned bus. But when I got back there, those 3 or 4 ladies who were laughing and carrying on, they were oblivious, I think, to the entire process. Okay? So my son said to me that night at dinner, he said, Dad, thanks for stepping up, because it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't done that. And I thought, you know what a great metaphor for life. Because here's the point, I said to my kids, you want to think about this when you think about your life. The question you should ask yourself is, number 1, are you even on the bus? Number 2, do you know where the bus is going? See, those women in the back didn't know how to get from the hotel to Staten Island. Therefore, they didn't even know they were what? Lost. They would have driven around all day and just assumed they were going in the right direction. And then here's the third part. If you were smart enough to know you were lost, which was probably 70 or 80% of the bus, do you have the courage to get up and do something about it? Because I was furthest from the front of that bus. Anybody could have done what I did, but nobody did it. They would much rather sit in their chair and bitch and moan and complain about the fact that this poor bus driver was lost. Do you think he did that on purpose? No. Do you think the people in your Swanson aren't succeeding or doing it on purpose? No. So what they need is not criticism. They need love. They need support. That's what modification is. Modification isn't punishing people. Modification is correcting course. Learning how to be completely transparent and honest with people. See, You have to learn as a leader how to separate what people are doing from who they are, so you can sit down very calmly and say, you know what, I love you as a person, I don't love what you just did. I don't love what you just said, you just compromised our values. I don't think what you're doing is going to be effective for you. If you can learn that skill, and you can get the emotion out of it, you can change people's lives. What can you do? Yeah, because I think sometimes we get caught up with the thought that modification is about modifying a plan, a goal. You know, instead of achieving this sales number, we're going to go for that sales number. That's all part of it. That's the easy part. The tough part is modifying our own behavior as well as helping to influence the modification of the people that we serve. Does this make sense? I mean, that's where the magic happens, okay? So that's modification. Here's what I